Hey guys, it's Philip from Steveson Motor Co. and we are quarantined away working at the shop. I'm sure you are too. We figured this would be a good time to go over some items that we see on Minis that come through here that maybe you're not doing right on your car. First of which is the radiator fan. Now on the radiator fan here on a Mini, it can go on in two ways, and on this car here it's backwards. So this is the first thing, we see this a lot. On a conventional car that is a longitudinally mounted front engine rear wheel drive, the engine will sit this way and the air will go through the radiator, the fan will pull it through, and then it'll go past the engine. However, on a Mini, because the engine sits sideways in the car, the air actually goes here and actually needs to be pushed through the radiator out into the wheel well. So because of that, you make sure that the fan is on in the correct orientation. That orientation is that there is a curved side and a concave side of the fan. You want the curved side facing the engine. Just think the smoothest path of air is from the engine side out. So if you look at the radiator fan here, this concave side here should be facing the radiator, so this fan should be flipped around. That's a really common thing. If you do have this wrong, the engine will run hot and you'll never get it cooling, even if you have a nice big radiator and fresh coolant and all the other stuff. Next thing we want to talk about is brake shoes. We've covered this before. We have another video, we can put the link in the description, on the orientation of the shoes. If you look at rear Mini shoes, there's only one type of shoe, but you use two of them. And as you can see, the shoe, I'll show you on this one, it's different. On the top part here, the pad material runs almost all the way to the top. And on this one here, it runs like maybe an inch shy of the metal. This is important because there's a leading and a trailing edge of the shoe. We can go into more detail if you take a look at that video below, show you exactly how to put them on. But essentially, you want to have it so that the leading and the trailing edge are like this, depending on the side of the car, left or right. Again, link will be in the description below. But that's a big one that we see all the time. Pretty much every car that rolls through has them either in the wrong way, or they're oriented like this, or they're oriented like this. Make sure that the right way, you want your rear brakes to work as optimally as possible, and they were designed to run a particular way. So make sure of that. Looking up more stuff on the shop, if we go over here, one thing we see a lot is people using the wrong oil. So on a Mini, you want to use 20W50 non-synthetic oil. The reason for this is synthetic oil is really good. It lubricates like really well, and I would always recommend in a normal car to use synthetic oil. However, in a Mini, because the engine oil is shared between the gearbox and the engine, there can be some problems when you use synthetic oil. What happens is when you go to change gear, the bulk ring isn't able to grab onto the synchro hub because the oil is essentially working too well, and it won't grab it and spin the synchro hub up to speed, which will result in crunchy shifting. So you want to make sure that you're running a high quality 20W50 mineral oil, and preferably one that has a lot of zinc in it. The reason for this is that Minis have flat tappet camshafts. Essentially, there's no roller or no hydraulic coupling in between the camshaft and the lifter. It's a solid piece that sits right onto the cam. Because of that, you need a lot of zinc in the oil. That helps lubricate the camshaft and make sure that you don't run a cam flat, which is what can happen, where it'll wear away and essentially the lobe of the cam will be worn away until it's a circle and you'll have no more lift. So even if that doesn't happen immediately, if you're running for long periods of time with an oil that has low zinc, you'll slowly wear away the camshaft. You'll get less and less lift and duration on your cam, and the engine will subsequently run worse. So make sure that you have high zinc, A lot of older muscle cars, especially the performance versions, run flat tappet solid cams, which is what the Mini has from factory. So there's a lot of hot rod oils out there that have, advertising says high zinc. Just look for something like that and it'll work great. Another tip is you could also use motorcycle oil. We've done that too because motorcycles quite often will share the oil between the gearbox and the engine, and they will quite often also have like a solid camshaft. So that's something to look into. Speaking of oil, Dashpot fluid. Pretty much every car that we see come in here doesn't have any sort of fluid in the dashpot. The dashpot, I can show you, is, if you don't know, is this thing right here. What it is it's a damper for the piston. If you go inside here and you can raise this piston, there's resistance to it, and then it should fall away. You see it falls down. And what that is if you unscrew the top here, there's a little piston inside here. This piston works just like a shock absorber, and there's oil. And if you fill it up inside, you'll see, and if I push this down, you can hear the oil going on. So what that does is, on an SU carb, the oil in the dashpot essentially acts as the booster that you would have in a normal carburetor. So when you go full throttle immediately, what happens is there isn't enough vacuum in the chamber to lift it up and give you more fuel to enrich it. So the resistance of the dashpot makes for a higher Venturi effect, and it sucks more gas out of the jet on the bottom. Essentially, long and the short of it is, playing with the viscosity of the dashpot fluid can change the way that the car behaves with quick throttle input. So if you're having bogging when you just mat the gas all of a sudden, make sure you have some dashpot fluid in here and then experiment with it. We usually try to err on the thinnest dashpot fluid you can have while still having proper enrichment. You can buy factory SU dashpot oil. It comes in a container just like this. It's got a little handy nozzle so you can put it right in. This is quite thin. We've used everything from ATF, which is really thin, 30 weight fork oil, all the way to 20 W50 normal engine oil. Pretty much anything, any oil will work. You just gotta experiment with it and see what works. A suggestion is to use a single weight oil, like 30 weight, because it shouldn't change its viscosity as much with engine temperature, although the dashpot shouldn't see that much engine temperature changes, but that's something to pay attention to with that. One other thing that we see a lot is on the radiators of the car. With these older style that don't have a reservoir, it just kind of pukes out onto the ground. If you fill it right to the top of the rad, by the time it expands, it'll leak out, and it'll kind of regulate itself. It'll leak out enough where the level drops to the point where when it expands, it won't leak out anymore. But for that first time, you'll see fluid on the ground and you'll wonder what the hell happened. One tip is that with a Mini that doesn't have an overflow tank, just fill the radiator to the top of the fins inside, maybe about an inch down from the top. That's plenty of coolant. If you fill it right to the top, like I said, the first time it gets hot, it'll puke out and you'll wonder if you're overheating or not. So that's something definitely to pay attention to. And last but not least, the big one is some torque figures that you're probably doing wrong. One thing I can see right here is the hub here on the CV, the big nut here. Now this depends on what kind of setup you have for brakes in terms of the torque spec. On these later type here, it's super high. The torque spec is like 180 foot-pounds or even a bit more than that. Check the manual. Quite often they say to torque it to like 200, back it off, and then back to 188 or something, I believe. But it's really high. If you bring it to a normal shop, the torque figure that they will assume this is going to be is probably like 60 pounds or something, which is way too light. This big nut actually holds the end of the CV, which that holds the wheel bearing together. So it doesn't just mean that your CV is loose, it means that your wheel bearing can actually be loose. So make sure to get that right. And the other thing is the wheel lugs. On a Mini, they're 42 foot-pounds. They're tiny little wheel lugs. If you go to like a normal car, which is like anywhere from 80 to like 110, you can actually snap these off or even strip the nuts. So 42 foot-pounds, that's what Mini 7 Racing series use, and that's what we use. 42 foot-pounds, more than enough on this tiny car. That's it. If you have any other suggestions, put them in the comments below. I know we haven't been posting a ton of videos. We've been super busy. We've got a lot more stuff coming out, so stay tuned for that. Stay safe with this Corona stuff, and keep working on your car. Thanks for watching.